Hey guys, so Sid in Discord made a good suggestion that I make a video about oil and all the uses of oil, so I thought I'd do that today. You'll start getting oil once you get to Desert Island. You'll get these oil pits, and every 20 hours you can harvest them, mine them for oil. First time you mine them, you'll get 10 oil. Second time you mine them, you'll also get 10 oil. And third time you mine them, you'll get 30 oil. And it works like Crimstone, where after you get the last one, it starts over. So you get 10, 10, 30, 10, 10, 30. There's no like resetting like on Crimstone, so it'll just go in that order. So yeah, you'll get these once you get to Desert Island, and then there's several things you could do with oil. You can use it for the greenhouse, you can use it for the crop machine, you can use it for cooking, expanding, and then once you get to Volcano Island, you can use it in lava pits as well during, I believe it's summer. One of the seasons require it. So just know that once you get to Volcano Island, you'll need oil for the lava pits. But once you're on Desert Island, there's four things you can do with it. There's the crop machine. How the crop machine works is, here, I will harvest one of my packs so that I can show you guys. Here you're going to put in seeds, however many seeds you want, and it's going to tell you the grow time. And it grows 10 seeds at a time by default. So that means that it takes 1 minute to grow 10 sunflower seeds because that's the default growth time. The crop machine doesn't use your speed boost, but it does use other like boosts like the scarecrow or something. It'll increase the amount of seeds you get from here. And you fill up the oil tank, and it uses the oil as your seeds grow, and it uses 1 oil per hour of growth time. So that's how that works. And it's a decent option, but it's not going to be great. If you don't have a ton of boosts, the cost of the oil, it'll cost more than the value of the crops you get out of the machine. So it's usually good for sunflowers for most people and maybe potatoes, but like some of the more expensive crops, you can only really do like a few crops in it. But there are skills that let you do carrots and other medium crops. The basic crops, like the quick ones, are usually good, but the longer ones are usually not as good because it takes so much oil just to grow them. And next we have the greenhouse, and the greenhouse works similarly. You put oil in the machine, and when you're growing grapes, rice, and olives, it uses the oil as when you put them in. So for every grape you put in, for me, it'll take 2 oil. For rice, it'll take 3 oil, and for olives, it'll take 5. But I have a skill that reduces that by 1, so I think the default numbers are 3, 4, and 6. So yeah, you put in oil, and like for me, I put in 4 rice, and that takes up 12 oil. So once again, a decent option, I guess, but you're probably going to need boosts to make it profitable. So if you need stuff, you can grow it here. If you have extra oil, you can grow it here, but probably not the best option if you don't have boost because once again, the oil will cost more than the value you're getting out of the crops. Next, we have cooking. And cooking is a little complicated because how it works is it uses the default cooking time. So for me, I have pizza here. It says it takes 9 hours and 43 minutes, but that's with the oil reduction. The default cooking time for pizza is 20 hours. So if I fill this tank up to max and then I went to cook a pizza, it would take off 20 hours from this time. It would go down to 4 days and 4 hours. So like I said, it uses the default cooking time. So if you have any reductions, if you have a Luna's hat, which cuts it in half, which would put it at 10 hours, it'll still take 20 hours of oil to cook a pizza. And that goes for all the different foods. Different foods have different default cooking times, obviously, but I was just using that one as an example. Each cooking building has a different amount of oil that it uses per hour. I think the fire pit is 2 oil for 2 days, I think. Anyways, the other ones are more expensive. I don't know. Oh, I could actually check. So this one's 25 oil for 5 days. This one is 60 oil for 5 days. And the bakery is 50 oil for 5 days. So you can see they all have different amounts. That's a good option, especially if you're like late game. You can use up a bunch of oil that way and pump out a bunch of food if you really need to level up a bunch. So that is a good way to burn a bunch of oil because there's not really like a limit because like in theory you can put a bunch of oil in and then gem your food and then you could just keep pumping out a bunch of food if that's what you want to do, but it'll be pretty costly. But it is a good option to burn a bunch of oil. Then we have expanding, and this is the one that most people are probably going to use. If I go here to land expansions, you can see here, once you get onto Desert Island, you're going to need oil basically at every level starting at expansion 8. It'll be a small amount at first, but then it gets more and more expensive as you go along. You can see here on Volcano Island, you're also going to need oil to expand. It gets pretty expensive near the end. 450 near the end, 650 on Desert, and on Volcano. You go to the end here. It's actually not as bad because the main resource you're going to be using on Volcano is obsidian, but you're going to use a lot of oil to expand through the islands. You can see here you need 3,500 to expand through desert, and to expand through volcano you actually need more because it uses like more consistently. It uses like a smaller amount more consistently. It's like 300, 300, 300, 300, whereas this one gets higher, but there's fewer expansions on desert and you use more from the start on volcano. And then finally, we have lava pits. We can go here to the constants page on SFL World and scroll down to the lava pits. There they are. Okay, so here in summary, you can see that each lava pit requires 100 oil. So, and a lava pit takes 3 days to produce the obsidian. So every 3 days, I have 4 lava pits. That'll take up 400 oil. So that adds up a lot too pretty quickly. If you have a couple of these in a season, like in a summer season, that'll be 800 oil just throughout summer. So that adds up a bit too, but that's only for once you get to volcano. But just keep in mind, if you're going to expand to Volcano Island and you don't have a lot of oil, try and do it actually like in autumn, so that you have more months, more seasons to get the oil you need. And then once summer comes around, because it's something you can't really buy, or you can't buy at all. So if you don't have the oil, you're just going to be out of luck. Whereas everything else here you can buy. So make sure when you move over, that if you're doing it in summer, you have oil saved up. And if you don't have oil saved up, do it in autumn. Do it when summer's done. But that's basically it. I would say the main thing you should make sure you have oil for is expanding, because expanding is super important. And everything else is kind of extra. You're going to use it where you can make a bit of profit out of the greenhouse or the crop machine. You're going to want some for the lava pits once you get to Volcano Island. And you can use it for cooking, but I would mostly only use it if you need to finish a chore, or if you're like a super high level and you don't really need oil for expanding anymore. But yeah, that's it. Have a good day, guys. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. It would help me out a lot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Have a good day, guys. And I also want to say thank you to all the members of the channel. Currently it's just Raichu. Thank you for the support.